Oh boy, talk about a turbulent, tumultuous last several days. If you thought the news of the president getting the virus would gyrate the market, wait till you see what happened today. The market was actually up momentarily, and then it totally crashed after the recent announcement from President Trump. Pay attention to these recent developments. It is not looking good. But if my updates have been valuable and informative to you guys, go ahead and just do me a quick favor. Smash the like button for me. It'll just help with that YouTube algorithm. YouTube will push the video out to even more people, so more people will be in the know, more privy to what is going on. This is literally breaking news as of a half an hour ago as I'm filming this. I had no idea that this was going to come when I was planning on doing my stimulus check update today, but the news broke, so here's what's going on. And before we get to what this tweet says, well, this tweet just came hours after the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, the money printer, and he urged the government to take action to address the economic pain that the pandemic has inflicted on millions of households. He said, quote, "Too little support would lead to a weak recovery, creating unnecessary hardship for households and businesses." And to quickly recap, as we know, Congress and the White House has failed to reach a consensus regarding the next stimulus package. The latest we have gotten is Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats approved the HEROES Act worth over $2 trillion. And then the Mnuchin answer back to it from the Treasury Secretary was a $1.6 trillion offering. That's coming from the White House, but Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats did not accept that. This is also exacerbating the infliction of pain onto the airline industry. Shares of airlines, which have been calling for more aid to prevent more furloughs and layoffs, which we've covered in the last couple of videos, they also tumbled. Like American Airlines was down more than 3%, giving up its early gains for the day. Boeing, which had earlier said it was lowering long-term estimates for aircraft sales, fell more than 5%. Oil prices were also higher Tuesday, but well off their highest point of the day. So what's going on here? Well, President Trump is now calling on his negotiators and representatives to end negotiations with the Democrats until after the November 3rd election. If the White House follows through on this declaration, this would mean that there are going to be no more negotiations, no more talks between both parties for more stimulus into the economy and for the American people. This is coming on the heels after Stephen Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi spoke for about an hour on Monday and then planned to talk again on Tuesday. So let's take a look at this storm of tweets that the president sent out just about an hour ago. It's all in continuation, one paragraph, but they're separate tweets, of course, because of the character limit on Twitter. So let's start with the first tweet. Nancy Pelosi is asking for $2.4 trillion to bail out poorly run, high-crime Democrat states, money that is in no way related to COVID-19. We made a very generous offer of $1.6 trillion. This is the offer that Mnuchin had put forth to the Democrats, that the Democrats then subsequently rejected. And as usual, she is not negotiating in good faith. I am rejecting their ... request and looking to the future of our country. I have instructed my representatives to stop negotiating until after the election, when immediately after I win, we will pass a major stimulus bill that focuses on hardworking Americans and small business. I have asked ... at Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell not to delay, but to instead focus full-time on approving my outstanding nominee to the United States Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett. Our economy is doing very well. The stock market is at record levels. Jobs and unemployment ... also coming back in record numbers. We are leading the world in economic recovery, and the best is yet to come. Now, while the rebound and the growth of our economy following the peak of the virus was much better than expected and much better than experts had predicted, we still need more stimulus to the American people. Essentially, every economist agrees that without this extra stimulus to Americans and businesses and to the country, you will have a very weak recovery and potentially millions of people could be on the brink or impoverished. And to fan the flames even more so, this is all to get Amy Coney Barrett confirmed before the election. This is also literally going back on Republican statements from just a couple years ago. For example, Lindsey Graham, most notably, Senator Lindsey Graham, said that if there is a vacancy in Trump's last year, in his first term, we will wait until after the election to confirm. His words verbatim. not made up. Now, there's nothing wrong with following the constitutional formality of confirming a justice after there is a vacancy. I understand there's nothing about it that's breaking the law, the Constitution of the United States. However, this is in the midst amid a global pandemic where millions and millions are suffering, and we need this stimulus. All Americans have received, besides the unemployment benefits that expired on July 31st, and then the round of LWA $300 to $400 payments, is just one $1,200 stimulus check for an individual. Those payments were sent out months ago, and Democrats are rightfully so furious. Within seconds of that series of tweets, the market tanked over 300 points, over 1%, and the market is about to close red for the day. Now, even though talks have stalled and made little progress over the last several months, investors and traders had become a lot more hopeful and optimistic that a deal could be reached between both sides. When the House and Senate returned back from their recess, the Problem Solvers Caucus had introduced that bipartisan proposal to get the talks rekindled again, and that's what we saw. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, Mark Meadows, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer had started these negotiations again, and it looked like we could have been on the brink of a deal. We literally have never been closer than before. Nancy Pelosi's answer was $2.2 trillion. Steve Mnuchin was $1.6. It was just that small chasm now that we had a bridge, and we would never have been closer to a deal than right now. But to throw the monkey wrench into the deal, the president is now calling for negotiations to end until after November 3rd. My opinion, though, is that let's just say that Biden does win the election. I could almost foresee the Democrats wanting to stall those talks even after the election until Biden does get in there, so that way they can come up with a lot more generous liberal offer for stimulus and direct payments. Or perhaps if they know Biden's going to get in there on January 20th, if the president does concede and the election is fair and just, then the Democrats could start with just a piecemeal approach, a very small package, say, just for stimulus checks, and then shift into a much larger deal with Biden as president and presumably the Senate back in control of the Democrats. But for the Democrats to become victorious here, they would have to first maintain the House, then maintain the Senate, and also get the presidency, although the presidency might not be 100% necessary to pass new stimulus. I really thought things were looking up here, and this totally destroyed any hopes of another stimulus check. It was in jest that I was saying that you might be taking your stimulus checks to the ballot box, but now it looks like you'll be casting your ballot without another stimulus payment. What are your thoughts on these recent developments? Let me know down below in the comments. What do you think should happen here? Should the Democrats not take this and take a stand and stand up to the president to try to get stimulus passed? Should they wait until potentially Biden does become the next president? What do you think all sides of the aisle here should do? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. More videos and updates will be coming through as news does start to develop even further. So if you did get value out of this video, give it a big thumbs up, smash the like button. And if you want to see more videos on my channel so that way you're up to date to the second, so that way you know exactly what's going on, click that big red button, the subscribe button. I post videos now every single solitary day, including the stimulus check and stimulus package updates for you guys. So if you could just go ahead and click that big red button and also hit that notification bell as well, that we're notified every single time I do make a new one. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.